What's commonly happening across the country is that agencies are having to triage evidence and make decisions about which guns can and should be tested and under what circumstances. And so in our county, many guns were going to the lab. We had a rich tradition of using this technology back since the 90s. However, not all guns were making it to the lab because they were having to prioritize the cases that could and should be worked. And so we're hoping that this initiative that we've undertaken in this county will mean that all guns, all casings, in all instances where they're eligible for this type of testing will go to the lab right away. If we aren't sending all guns to the lab, then our murder weapon in San Jose might be sitting on your shelf in Modesto and vice versa. And so it was really critical that we make a regional effort to try and get all guns submitted so that we can really be solving crime across jurisdictional lines. Because what we know is that guns don't see county lines. Guns are taken from Oakland to San Francisco to commit a shooting, and then from San Francisco back down to San Jose. And so if we're not all leaning into this effort, we're missing out on critical components in the most serious types of cases. The best possible thing that could happen is for an investigator to know that that casing he recovered last night is associated to another shooting. If he could know that in a day, he could go out and try and solve that crime the next day while he's still working on the case. So ultimately, as quickly as we can get it, within 48 hours is the gold standard, but realistically, if we can get it in a week or two, while you're still working that case, while we still have witnesses with fresh memories, while we still have detectives assigned to it, that would help solve crime exponentially. Currently, not every jurisdiction in California puts information into NIBIN. What we hope is that because of the success that there's been across the country using NIBIN, in jurisdictions that use it uniformly, we're getting incredible increases in solved crime. So what we're hoping is that the success of regional efforts like in the Bay Area and across the country, that other jurisdictions will follow suit, and so that if everybody feeds the system talks to you.
Is it safe to say that some crimes that could be solved are going unsolved?
Absolutely. So one big category of guns that didn't always make its way to the crime lab would be a found gun, meaning that somebody was walking along and saw a gun in the bushes. What we know in law enforcement is that that's the most likely type of gun to be linked to a crime, because people who own guns don't typically toss them in the bushes. There are dramatic success stories from up and down the state, and it's uniformly regarded as an incredibly useful and powerful tool, but it's not without some effort and resources. So what we really need in law enforcement is for local jurisdictions, for police departments, for counties, for municipalities, to help our police and crime labs fund this effort. Because it's going to take people and technology to get it done, but it is absolutely worth every bit of effort that you put into it. It solves the most dangerous type of crime. It stops shooters from proliferating violence in our most affected neighborhoods, and it absolutely leads to success if you use the technology.